Yo, what's up people? Will Clark here. Welcome to your 16th appointment in the barber shop. This month's show, we've got tracks from Suni, Justin Martin and Amtrak. And also got my homie ZDS sitting in the barber's chair. Keep it locked and enjoy.
Welcome to the barber shop.
You're locked into the barbershop with Will Clark. Will Clark.
Starting the show off nicely. Amtrak's new EP. That track's called Escape, featuring Forest. Coming in next, going a little bit harder. Philip Bader with The Trip.
You're locked into the barbershop with Will Clark. Will Clark. Something for the weekend, sir?
That kick drum, something to die for, man. Amazing. New track on Dubfire's label Cytec, Paul Strive and Zenby. Track's called Wanna Tell You. Hope you're enjoying this show. Let me know what you think at DJ Will Clark on Twitter. Coming up on the show later on, ZDS sitting in the barber chair, getting a trim, although he has no hair. Also announcing some dates for Miami WMCs. And a few more things up my sleeve. Again, keep it locked and enjoy.
into the barbershop with Will Clark.
Vince Soul and his new track called 828 Trash Pile. 383s are out in this track. And the 808s, I guess.
Into the barbershop with Will Clark.
We know who this is. Justin Martin and his track Hello Clouds. And our homie Ardalan on the remix. Absolutely annihilated this remix. The remix album is actually out now on Dirty Bird. Go check it out. Had DJ Marky on our track called Back to the Jungle, as well as Chris Lorenzo. Amazing remixes on there. Red Light, Walker and Royce, Carl Watson. Who else? Soul Clap. Just to name a few. Go grab it.
High above the ground. Yeah, high up on my cloud. Are you dancing now?
Go on, Ardy. Killing this remix, man. I love it. So, WMCs are coming around the corner. You can catch me 22nd of March at FDR. 23rd of March, the Dirty Red Crew at their throwdown at Trade. 24th, I'm at the Surf Kuma in the day. 24th at night, you can catch me at Do Not Sit at the Furniture. Do Not Sit on the Furniture, I believe that's called. And I think there's going to be one more, but watch my socials because we're unable to announce that right this second. After all those dates in Miami, I'm heading off for another little tour around America, Australia, Canada, then back to America, and then back to Canada again. We're going to be announcing that very soon. Also, I'm going to be taking a load of people out for burgers, so watch this space.
Yeah.
He's a walking, talking, cutting, snipping, clipping, eating, cooking, cuddling, mixing machine. Who is this guy?
New and hot creations, Suni. Track is called Back to the Music, and Route 94 is on the remix. Let me know if you like this one.
Well, stop waxing your tash, man. Hit play.
Love this track so much. Thought I'd put in a classic. Necker with Shining Star and Joe Goddard on the remix. Let me know what you think.
In this madness, in this world, with its swiftness and its coldness, you're my peace of mind. Yes. When the world just keeps turning and I know not where to head to, you're my peace of mind. And when I look up in the skies, it's the only you created, nothing else to count. When you everlasting love, oh, 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 shining star. When you smile down on me, oh, what you are. When you look down at me, beautiful star. Do keep your eyes on me. Oh, 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 what you are. When you look down at me, despite my greed, you want to trust me. Times your heartstrings, do you love me? I appreciate you, baby. And though you seem so far away, you were so near, I can feel you. Your light, it dwells within my mind. And I know you're sometimes lonely. Oh, I wish that I could change it. Oh, that I know it's you got me. And I pray my love will give you life to help you breathe, to keep your smile. You're my shining star, to take my love and live. Oh, shining star. When you smile down on me, oh, what you are. When you look down at me,
Hey Will, it's time for your next appointment. Who's stepping into the barber's chair this month?
So welcome into this month's Barber's Chair. I've got probably one of my favourite producers out there. Some of you may know him as Zombie Disco Squad. Some of you may know him as Nat South. But sitting in the Barber's Chair this month, we've got ZDS. How you doing, man?
I'm wicked. How are you?
Yeah, I'm really good, man. Really good. Really good to speak to you. It's been a long time. You were off gallivanting in Barcelona for a year, so we haven't really caught up. So what's been going on?
As you said, I've been in Barcelona. It's been wicked, hanging out with friends. There's quite a good crew lives out there, having larks. And then, just back in the UK now, smashing out some music. So good times.
Nice one, dude. Nice one. Well, you've just had your EP out on Play It Down?
On Play It Down, yeah.
Yeah, and it's called Picture Perfect. I remember when you sent me the idea of this a long time ago. So how long has this track been in the making for?
This track has been a little bit of a nightmare's wrong word, let's say, a labour of love.
Yeah.
So basically, I wrote this tune, and originally it was like a kind of disco song. I don't know why I wrote a disco song, but I just did. I was in that mood.
Yeah.
And I sent it to this guy, Kid Enigma, who's done like features on a bunch of stuff. I really like his stuff, and he did this vocal, and I was like, this vocal's really tough, and it kind of doesn't fit with what I'd written. So then I wrote another song, which is kind of the tune that's come out now. So I was like, wicked, all right. Sent it around to a couple of labels, and a major label were like, cool, do you want to like have a crack at making this a bit more accessible or whatever? So I was like, all right, why not? I mean, so then I spent about 6 months turning it into something else, and then I was just like, you know what, this isn't me. So then I basically remade it back to the original version. So I think it was probably about 6 months of work to go full circle, but in the end I'm really happy I did, because I think it is the best version.
Yeah, man, I agree. I remember when you first sent the first few versions over, and this is definitely the bomb. So dude, moving on to the first question of the interview, what is your current favourite track and why?
So currently I'm really loving Melee and what he's up to. Like, I've known him for a bit, and the stuff he's been doing, but I think his new, like, more housey, techno-y kind of vibe is really good. And this one in particular, Queen's Day, is just, I think is a banger. It reminds me a lot of like early Dutch kind of house stuff, which was really good. Like, what Afrojack and all of that lot came from, the original sort of like bit of it was really raw, had like these kind of tribal elements, but wasn't like the sort of overblown main room stuff now.
Yeah.
And I'm loving it. I think it's a banger.
Cool, man. Let's check this one out. Quick one. I can't remember the full title of the track, but I remember it's the Bang ST edit or something. I tweeted you, or somebody asked me when it's coming out, and I thought it was like a free download on your SoundCloud. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? Because honestly, I played that since you sent it to me about a year ago, in nearly every set.
Well, thank you. So Basically, yeah, it was. So that comes from, I do this mix series called Bang Tracks, which is where I edit a bunch of stuff and a few heads. I send like the tunes to a few heads, but I don't generally release them to the wider world because they're bootlegs, and I kind of don't want to rip people off from royalties and whatnot. So that tune Bangs, I sent it around to a few people, and like Heidi's been rinsing it, Barclays, Claw and Stroke's been rinsing it, like everyone was been going crazy for it. So I was like, all right, I'm going to try and clear the sample. And I finally managed to do it. So it's coming out in, I think we're scheduled for June at the moment, depending if we can finally get this contract done.
Nice.
And that's it. It's coming.
What label?
It's coming on a new label called Weapons, which is basically it's Your Army, which is a promos company's label, and they're just making songs for the dance floor.
They do well, actually. One of my friends has just released on them, and the track did really well. I was really impressed with what they did. The Your Army guys are all awesome as well.
They're on it.
But yeah, promo wise, it's gonna do really well, man. It's gonna do really well. I love that track.
Thank you. I hope so. I mean, it's just definitely like, again, I mean, it's a tune that does nothing, right? It's a drum beat and it's just bang, but somehow it kind of like just catches people.
Dude, it's the groove. It's just the groove. It's like, honestly, I use it as a record. If like, you know, when you're in a club and the crowd are like, you just need to pick them up a little bit. They just need something, and that's the record I always pull out the bag. It just works every time, every single time. I think
thank you.
I've got a few videos. I'll send some over. I think we play.
Yeah, send them.
Yeah, definitely.
Send them. Do it.
Cool, man. Second question: your favourite new producer and why, and a track from them.
So this is a tune from Mall Grab. It was a pretty big tune for 2016. I think everyone rinsed it at some point. I really like his vibe. It's what people are calling lo-fi house, I guess, which I find a bit like stupid because it's just house, but whatever. I'm really into his stuff. I wish it was slightly less like distorted and whatever, but I like the fact that it sounds kind of a bit like Dance Mania, but now, I mean, he's part of that whole like DJ House, Fin Soul crew.
Yeah.
And I love all of that stuff. And this one in particular is like, well, I love grime, you know, it's all about like UK kind of vibes. I'm into it.
Okay, cool. Let's check this one out. Last but not least, we can't forget this one. what's your favourite ever track and why? And don't forget that it doesn't have to be house music.
I spent some time thinking about this because there's I could have 1,000 favourite tracks and still have space for more. But in the end, it had to be something by Green Velvet, Kashmir. And this one is it's one of his slightly lesser known ones, featuring Deju, called Say You Will. And it's just I feel like it's an ode to love and an ode to happiness and good vibes. Sounds a bit cheesy, but it's also just a wicked dance floor song.
I love this record so much. It's amazing. So let's take a listen to this one.
Say you will, say you will, say that you love me and only me. Say that you think of me and only me. When the sun is the sky, no longer shine. Say that you be mine till the end of time. Say you will, 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 say you will.
So man, what else have you got cracking on in the next year?
So, yeah, as I said, we've got Bang coming, which is in June at the moment, once we finally get this sample cleared, but I'm pretty sure we're almost there. So that's coming. And then in May, I think, I've got a tune called Rick James. You can see the continuation from Charlie Murphy there, which is coming out on Tool Room, which has been doing really well. Like, people are kind of talking about it a bit. There's going to be a bit of a campaign behind it. So that's coming.
Nice.
I've got a bunch of remixes. Did one for my old mates Hannah and Laura out Berlin, a few others. And then we've got Bang Tracks Part 2, which has been a labour of love, which has been taking up a lot of my time. I think it's basically almost an album, I guess. It's 14 original tracks, pretty much.
Jeez.
Bootlegs. It's definitely a labour of love. And on top of that, I am playing with the idea of starting a label. I've got another 8 tunes which I'm unsure of what to do with, because I just kind of want to have control over them. So I'm going to leave it down to your listeners. If you tweet me at Zombie Disco, yes or no, I'll know whether or not I should start a label.
Could everyone tweet him yes? Because I think he should.
All right.
100%. Tweet yes to Zombie Disco. Right, dude. Thank you so much for coming on the show, man. It's been really good to catch up.
It's been my pleasure. We should hang out more often.
Yeah, definitely. Let's book a date in the diary.
Let's do it.
Come up, or you come down to the countryside.
Wicked.
Cool, man. Thank you very much, and I'll catch you very soon.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Will, I need a top trim. Sort me out, mate.
Before we get into anything, I did record that interview on the weekend, and I was full up with cold, so I apologise for the bung nose. Anyway, top trim time. Love this track so much. I literally couldn't decide what I would put in as number 3, 2, 1, so I just put them all in. Radio Slave with his new track Feel the Same on Records. Oh, it's amazing. Proc and Fitch, a track on Relief, and it's called Whaler.
You're locked into the barbershop with Will Clark.
Just hear the horn when it drops. There it is. Proc and Fitch, you have nailed this track, guys. Absolutely nailed it. Number 2 in the top trims of this month's Barbershop. There it is again. Time for number 1. From Turbo Recordings, Tiga's Imprint. I got sent this last month and I've been playing it in every set. It is definitely one of my favourite tracks, if not the favourite track at this moment in time. I have a funny suspicion that this is going to kind of do really well in the summer. Just imagine this being played sunrise in Ibiza, DC10. Let me know if you agree with me. At DJ Will Clark on Twitter, Will Clark DJ on Facebook, or however else you want to contact me. Sasha Funke, track is called MZ. Wait for the piano later on in the track. Blow your mind.
You're locked into the Barbershop with Will Clark. Will Clark.
Oh my god. I feel like this show has just been full of amazing music. So big ups to everybody that's been writing the music recently, because it's just amazing. Getting ready for the summer, getting ready for Miami. Big ups to everybody. Also, thanks to all of you for listening. Don't forget to keep an eye on my socials for more tour dates that we'll be announcing very soon. Also, I gave my Dead Prez remix out for free. If you go to my Facebook or go to my Instagram, the links are all on there. Thanks to ZDS for joining us in the barber's chair and having his head shined. Keep safe, don't forget to support your local barber, and I'll see you next time in the barber shop.
Welcome to the Barber Shop.